大家好，我叫阿德，欢迎到我的华语角。Today is the first video in a new series called Building Character. In this series, I will attempt to show you how some characters are built up from other characters. So we start with a basic character and we add strokes to it and they become new characters. Chinese has a lot of those characters. Not all characters are that way, but Chinese is special in the way that you can see elements of characters that you've learned before in new characters, and that will help you to learn those new characters. One of my students once said, I have no way of memorizing the words, because if I compare it to when I learned Spanish or French, I could always think of an English word that looked like it and remember it that way, and they shared the same alphabet. She said, I cannot do that with Chinese. That is because Chinese is very different from maybe the language that you're used to, maybe English or German or French. Chinese doesn't have an alphabet, as I've said in one of my earlier videos. So you have to memorize the pronunciation of each character. But luckily, elements of one character occur in other characters. So the more characters you learn, the easier it becomes to learn newer characters. But of course, in the beginning, it takes a little bit more work and you start with a complete blank sheet. You have no reference to the languages that you might already know, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you will have to accept and then move on. Let's start with building character. And the character we're going to talk about today is the character for person, 人. 人 has two strokes, 1 and 2. Now, what happens when I add a third stroke to it? It becomes 大. Fourth tone, 大, which means big or large, which is a person with his hands stretched out. So, 大. Now I can add a fourth stroke to it. Then it becomes 太, which means two or grand, as in 太极拳, grand ultimate fist. 太, or as in 太太, which means wife. By adding just a few strokes, I can make new characters. And of course, when we talk about building character, we also have to talk about the role of characters as radicals. Radicals are specific to Chinese, and the Chinese also used in Korean, the hanja, or in Japanese, the kanji. They also use Chinese characters, and Chinese characters use radicals. And radicals tell you to which group they belong to, because Chinese likes to separate words into groups. We have a person radical. We can use the 人 as a radical, but then it doesn't look like the original character, but it looks like this. But also two strokes, one on top and the other going down. Here are some examples of words that use the human radical because it has to do with people. The character for to rest is 休, 休, which is a person and a tree. So picture in your mind somebody who's lying under a tree, it's sunny outside, and he's lying in the shadow of a tree and he's resting. 休. Another one we've seen is 他, 他, which also talks about a person. He he is a person, 他. Another one is 人, same pronunciation as the character for person, different meaning. 人 in combination with another character, 义. So 仁义 means benevolence. That is something that every human being should have. 仁义. So there you have it. That is the beauty of Chinese. Take one element, put it together with other elements, and it becomes a whole different thing. You create other characters. What other characters with 人 do you know? Please leave a comment and tell me. Or are there other characters that you would like for me to explain to you? And maybe tell you how these characters are used in other characters and how other characters are created, are built. Also leave it in the comments. For now, have fun learning Chinese, have fun writing, practicing your characters, and 继续加油